Call Vaishali right now. Soumya, can you quickly reply to me because I can see you going on and off. Is this problem with your portal? Because from last 3 days I am noticing this that there is some problem with you that you are not able to connect on the portal. Is it a major issue or is it's an issue from your end itself? Just try to confirm this with me. Okay. Can we have a discussion around the tiger reserves we were on? Right. Yesterday we have discussed a lot regarding the tiger reserve, tiger conservation. Today we will discuss around the cheetah conservation project, elephant reserves, etc. So just get back to that. Anything you have to ask from the previous lecture, please feel free to ask. Okay. So yesterday I was discussing regarding the project Tiger, right? We have done the Tiger task force, etc. Then something that we have to discuss is there are certain examples that I have discussed with you, right? Tiger reserves. So there are various tiger reserves which are present. Write down some of the names of the tiger reserves which are required for your basic understanding. I told you how this tiger task force started. It started from the your Sariska tiger reserve, right? Sariska tiger reserve got degraded a lot, and because of their degradation, what happened? Not working. Board is not working. Not working. Board check, please. Okay. So yesterday we had a discussion on the tiger reserve. We have seen how the tiger reserves were formed. There was a task force, tiger task force, which was constituted, and this tiger task force was actually constituted by because there was the degradation of the tigers were happening in Saraska Reserve, right? Saraska Reserve degradation was happening, and that's how we have built a tiger task force, right? When we have built a tiger task force, then what happened? There were various regions, for example, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, etc. Various in regions we have created the tiger reserve. This tiger reserve implementing agency was your NTCA. Implementing agency was NTCA, which was National Tiger Conservation Authority. National Tiger Conservation Authority. Right. So this is what we had. Okay. Apart from that, there is very important thing that you have to also discuss. We have to also discuss some of the programs which has been taken. Whenever you have to add something related to it, tiger reserves ke andar, you have to also need to add the, for example, international big Cat Alliance. Why it started and how it started? Because this tiger is coming in a big cat family, right? They belong to a family called Felidae. All these tiger, all the 7 big cats come under it, right? So we have to discuss that how and the programs are being formulated around them when their population is decreasing. Thankfully, the population in India is much better. The uh, from the time we have been able to make certain authorities, certain bodies, and we have been really active in the conservation programs. So we do have certain improvement in the number of the population of the tigers in the various areas, but still there are some states wherein the concentration of the tiger is more as compared to other. If I talk about Karnataka and Madhya Pradesh, they are having the maximum number of tiger present, while there are northeastern states such as Nagaland, or there is a Jampa tiger reserves wherein we are having 0 tigers present in that tiger reserves in that area. So that is how we have to improve. We have to increase the concentration in also those areas where tigers, the probability of the tiger to be present is more, because everything is suiting to their environment, their adaptation, everything is fine. External environment is just apt for the tiger survival. But the only thing is, because of some certain externalities, certain uh, uh, factors, the tigers population has been declined in that area. So we need a restoration program, a good, well-framed restoration program is needed for them, right? So we will be first discussing. पहले हम बात करेंगे कुछ टाइगर रिजर्व की, so that you should get aware of certain tiger reserves. Although you must have done this part, ये पूरा एक जीएस का पार्ट है. जीएस में आप बहुत ही डिटेल में करते हैं टाइगर रिजर्व कौन से कहाँ पर है. So I'll just give you a view. Write down Rajasthan. Certain tiger reserves you can write down. राजस्थान रणथंभौर, राजस्थान में लिख सकते हैं, राइट डाउन राजस्थान रणथंभौर. लिखिए राजस्थान रणथंभौर. राजस्थान रणथंभौर. सरिस्का, अगेन राजस्थान. सरिस्का टाइगर रिजर्व, राजस्थान. Then we have Mukundra. Then we have Mukundra Tiger Reserve, which is again Dholpur Tiger Reserve. This is where? This is again in Rajasthan. Dholpur Tiger Reserve, which is there in Rajasthan. Write down next. मध्य प्रदेश में लिखिए वेरी प्रोमिनेंट वन, कान्हा टाइगर रिजर्व. KANHA in Madhya Pradesh. Write down कान्हा टाइगर रिजर्व. कान्हा टाइगर रिजर्व. This is important, right? कान्हा टाइगर रिजर्व. Write down. Next, Pench Tiger Reserve, Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve. Pench Tiger Reserve. Then we have Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve. This is Pench Tiger Reserve, Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve. Right on next. Panna Tiger Reserve, Satpura Tiger Reserve. Panna, PANNA, Panna Tiger Reserve, Satpura Tiger Reserve, Satpura's Tiger Reserve. PA, right on the spelling, PANNA, Panna Tiger Reserve. And Satpura Tiger Reserve. Right on. Panna Tiger Reserve, Satpura Tiger Reserve. Right on. Sanjay Dhubri Tiger Reserve. Sanjay Dhubri Tiger Reserve. These tiger reserves are where? These are in Madhya Pradesh. We are still talking about Madhya Pradesh only, right? Next, come to Karnataka. Karnataka, we have very important places. Write down in Karnataka, right? Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve. Bandhavgarh tiger reserve. We have Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve. Bandipur. Please change it. I don't. Bandipur Tiger Reserve. Write down Bandipur. And Karnataka and Madhya Pradesh are having the maximum number of. They're having the maximum number of tiger population. They're having the maximum number of tiger population. लिखिए write down. Write down. Karnataka में लिखिए Bandipur. Then Bhadra Tiger Reserve. Kali Tiger Reserve. Bhadra. Write down. Bhadra Tiger Reserve. Then write down Kali Tiger Reserve. ठीक है. Next लिखिए Pench Tiger. Okay, done. Then write down Nagar Hole Tiger Reserve. Very important for this place. Nagar Hole is another important place. Nagar Hole Tiger Reserve, which is present in this area. Write down in Assam Manas Tiger Reserve, Nameri Tiger Reserve. Write down in Assam Manas Tiger Reserve, Nameri Tiger Reserve. Okay, these number of names are enough. Now rest of them you can just do. This is an activity which you can actually you should have done it in GS, but only to make you more aware because there are people who have not done GS in of environment. So I have to introduce some of the names to you. But apart from that, I have to give you some of the current affairs so that you can write as an example in the mains examination. So with respect to the Tiger Reserve, what is the update? What is taking place in different areas? So you should know all of that. Okay. So write down. Okay. So write down with respect to the first Kamlang and Arunachal Pradesh. Write down. So news which is there, the current affair which is there. Write down with respect to Arunachal Pradesh, and you can use all of these examples as an example, as a event or examples in your paper, right? So write down example number one. Okay. Example one. Write down in Kamlang Tiger Reserve, which is this is a news of Kamlang Tiger Reserve, which is where in Arunachal Pradesh. लिखिए Kamlang Tiger Reserve conducted a butterfly walk and nature trail event. Kamlang Tiger Reserve conducted a butterfly walk and nature trail event for the first time ever in association with it conducted a butterfly walk and nature trail event for the first time ever in association with NGO. Okay. Write down next. In Jharkhand, write down Palamau Tiger Reserve. Palamu. Palamau. Palamau Tiger Reserve. Okay. Can we write? Write down. Yes, it's fine. Write down. Write down. Palamau Tiger Reserve. I'll tell you the what. First, we were discussing what Kamlang. Okay. So let me complete with Kamlang Tiger Reserve. There's a lot of disruption happening because of the board. And okay. So write down what we have written with respect to Kamlang Tiger Reserve, that there was a trail event happened. Now, why the trail event is required? First of all, आपने example तो आप लिखेंगे, वहाँ पे आपको trail event नहीं समझाना है. But for your understanding, you should know what is a trail event and what is the utility of it. So trail event in a tiger reserve usually means a guided nature walk or tracking activity. So this is a tracking activity that one does. This is a tracking activity and a guided nature walk which is done obviously in a buffer zone. And it is usually practiced in a buffer zone, not in a core zone. Why? Because core zone are protected and there is a strict prohibition of any human interference or any sort of ecotourism in this area, right? So in buffer zone only you can do this practice. Now, why it was done? It was done for the wildlife awareness. आप जब ये example लिखेंगे in your mains, you can just write down hyphen wildlife awareness. या फिर wildlife awareness का एक topic लिखेंगे या फिर एक point लिखेंगे, तो उसमें आप एक example add कर सकते हैं. ठीक है? So write down wildlife awareness. Second, conservation education. It was done for wildlife awareness. Conservation education. It was done for conservation education. Then, for what else it was done? Write down ecotourism protection, promotion, ecotourism promotion, scientific observation, ecotourism promotion. बफर जोन में आप कर सकते हैं ecotourism promotion, scientific observation, write down next. देखिए, community involvement. We want to involve a lot of community participation. Always remember, any big project is only possible, the successful implementation of any project is only possible when there is involvement of community. Always remember that. Okay? Now, we can add some more examples. Write down Palamau Tiger Reserve. Palamau Tiger Reserve. This particular tiger reserve is in Jharkhand. This is particularly in Jharkhand. What is the news regarding this right now? 4 soft release centers for cheetahs are under construction. They are the spotted deer. Okay. So basically, tigers are what? They are feeding upon the deer. Right? Cheetahs are the type of a deer only. And they are feeding upon them when the prey base, there will be an extensive prey base. This is basically for forming the extensive prey base. And when you will have the extensive prey base, then what will happen? These tigers can actually then what they can feed upon them, and the population of the tigers can be stable. Because one of the reason for not having the population, the stable population of the tigers in certain areas is also because they are not having a extensive prey base. So when you have to, in order to increase these, you have to increase the base of these, right? So what they have done, write down 4 soft, you can write the examples like this, that particularly in Palamau Tiger Reserve, there has been the 4 release, 4 is FOUR, 4 soft release centers for cheetahs. Next, what is next information? Write down Dampa Tiger Reserves. Dampa Tiger Reserves. These are the tiger reserves which are having no tiger reserve population. Basically, they are having no tiger reserve, no tiger population. The number of tigers present here are 0. So basically, it is in Mizoram. So what initiatives that they have taken. See, write down. A new species of toad, which is your frog. Toad is basically a frog. Was found in Dampa Tiger Reserve. Was found in Dampa Tiger Reserve. And again, it is important for the prey base, right? That is important for the prey base. Okay. What is with respect to next? Write down Kalakar. Kalakar Tiger Reserve. What is the news with respect to that? Kalakar Tiger Reserve likhiye. So basically, a plea was filed in Madhya Pradesh. Plea was filed in Madhya Pradesh to stop, sorry, in Madras. Plea was filed in Madras court to stop the movement of the people, to stop the movement of the people in Kalakar Tiger Reserve to protect or to conserve flora and fauna, right? All the faunal species, mainly we're talking about tigers, because we are more concerned for the tigers. For the conservation of them, it was required. Okay. So write down a plea in Madras High Court to restrict the entry of outsiders to protect tigers or to protect flora and fauna. Okay. Okay. So all this with respect to the tigers. Now we have to see what are the conservation strategies which have been taken internationally and domestically. Let's get back to that. First, write down about the census. I think we have done something with respect to the census. Tiger Reserve census, have we talked? So National Tiger Census is done every 4 years by NTCA only. Yesterday we have discussed this. The tiger census is done after every 4 years by NTCA. This is what you have to note. Next, write down. Madhya Pradesh leads in state-wise tiger population, followed by Karnataka, Uttarakhand, and then Maharashtra. Okay. Now the major information for you is, write down, international efforts. First, write down, categorize under international efforts. See what has been initiated with respect to tiger conservation. Write down international efforts. First point, लिखिए Global Tiger Initiative. Global Tiger Initiative. Global Tiger Initiative लिखिए. It was launched in 2008. It was launched in 2008, and it is with respect to what? Again, for the preservation of tiger species. It was launched in 2008. What is the program? Global Tiger Initiative. Write down. To prevent the extinction of wild tigers through global collaboration. The idea was to prevent the extinction of the wild tigers through global collaborations. Nature likhiye, write down the nature of this program. Write down. It is a multi-stakeholder alliance. Multi-stakeholder का मतलब होता है when different parties are involved in it, right? So you call it as multi-stakeholder alliance. When the countries are also involved, the institutions are also involved, then you call it as multi-stakeholder alliance. Write down multi-stakeholder alliance involving governments, international bodies, governments, international bodies, government, international bodies, NGOs, science and private sectors, NGOs, science sector, science and private sectors. All of these are involved in this. All of these are involved in this, right? Write down next. Write down the key founding partners of this. Okay. World Bank and GEF. Always remember, ऐसे situations के अंदर जो initiatives, especially the funding initiatives, they will always involve GEF, right? And World Bank, because they are the one who is funding, right? World Bank plus GEF, founding partners. Okay. Now write down the next initiative, international effort, Global Tiger Forum. Next, you can talk about Global Tiger Forum. Global Tiger Forum, GTF. Okay. Establishment 1993 by Tiger Range countries. Establishment in 1993 by Tiger Range countries. Now, what is the purpose of this? To provide a platform for the collaboration, right? So write down the purpose is to serve the platform. The purpose is to serve the platform for international collaboration. The purpose is to serve the platform for international collaboration. So that is what it is providing for the international collaboration. लिखिए. Write down. Only intergovernmental. It is not a multi-stakeholder. It is intergovernmental. Intergovernments में form करा है. It is only intergovernmental international body exclusively for tiger conservation. It is only intergovernmental organization or intergovernmental international body exclusively for tiger conservation. Next, it functions as a conduit for policy coordination, write down, technical support and advocacy. Technical support and advocacy. Technical support and advocacy. Write down. Write down. Global Tiger Recovery Program. Next international initiative is Global Tiger Recovery Program. This is another initiative which has taken place, right? Global Tiger Recovery Program. Write down. This milestone initiative was done by Global Tiger Recovery Program. This is another third one. It is international efforts के अंदर Global Tiger Recovery Program. Global Tiger Recovery Program लिखिए. This milestone initiative was done by World Bank in 2010. This milestone initiative was done by World Bank in 2010. In 2010, under the aegis of its ongoing program under the aegis of its ongoing program, the Global Tiger Initiative. Under the aegis of it, already एक उनका program था, वो चल रहा था with the name of the Global Tiger Initiative, right? There was already ongoing program, Global Tiger Initiative. So they introduced this under this, right? So they introduced Global Tiger Recovery Program under Global Tiger Initiative, right? Under the aegis of Global Tiger, and they continued this program under this only. But what is that? This milestone initiative was done by World Bank in 2010, right? Right on. With the World Bank support, GTI brought together 13 tiger range countries. With the help of World Bank, GTI brought together 13 tiger range countries. Tiger range countries means these countries are having a population, substantial population of tiger, full stop. These countries met at the International Tiger Forum. These countries met at International Tiger Forum. These countries met at International Tiger Forum at Saint Petersburg. Saint Petersburg is in Russia. At Saint Petersburg. This Petersburg, Saint Petersburg comes from here in the prelims. This is very famously known as Saint Petersburg Declaration. Okay, so there is a very famous question which comes from here, describing about that Saint Petersburg is related to what? Whether it's a tiger conservation or it is a climate change. So something related to that they will ask definitely, and then you have to identify. So with Saint Petersburg Declaration, no one can get even to the nearest to the answer unless you have read in detail about the Saint Petersburg. So basically, the meeting held at the Saint Petersburg, which is in Russia. So when they finalize the initiative, they finalize that what provisions has to be there in the GT, your Global Tiger Recovery Program, GTPR. So finally, they decided and they gave the name Saint Petersburg Declaration. Okay, write down. Okay, what were the goals? Just write down the goals of the Global Tiger Recovery Program. Okay, so these have been divided. These has come in the phases like point 1, GTPR 1, GTPR 2, like that. So I'll set out the goals which has been taken for the key goals for GTRP for 2010 to 2022. Write down. What were the goals? Write down. Till now, only two GTRP has been taken place, which is your Global Tiger Reserve Program. Only two has been taken place. One for one, the timeline was decided 2010 up till 2022, and after that there was another meeting which happened after 2022, which is the timeline was from 23 to and so on. 23 to 34 they have decided. So write down. Key goals were to achieve the TX2 goals. What is that? TX2, to achieve the TX2, write down like this. To achieve the TX2 goals, what is the idea behind TX2 goals? Write down. Double the global wild tiger population. Double the global wild tiger population from 3,200 to 7,000. From 3,200 to 7,000. From 3,000 to, write down, from 3,000 to, लिखिए, from 3,200 to 7,000 by 2022. Next, address key threats. Their main purpose was to address key threats. To address key threats such as poaching, hunting. The main purpose was to address key threats such as poaching, hunting, comma, illegal trade, habitat loss, prey depletion, illegal trade, habitat loss, prey depletion, all of which was decided by them. Right? Next, write down. Strengthen anti-poaching efforts and habitat protection. Now write down about the Global Tiger Recovery Program 2.0. This is more important with respect to the current affairs because this can definitely be asked, and you can define what is Global Tiger Recovery Program 2.0. Write down about this. Okay. Global Tiger Recovery Program 2.0 was released at Thimphu on International Tiger Day. It was released in Thimphu, THIMPU, at Thimphu on International Tiger Day. Write down. Global Tiger Recovery Program 2.0 has been formed up. Global Recovery Program 2.0 has been formed up by tiger range countries. Tiger range countries through intergovernmental platform through intergovernmental platform through intergovernmental platform has been formed up by tiger range countries to intergovernmental platform of the Global Tiger Forum. Again, Global Tiger Recovery Program 2.0, write down, has been formed up by tiger range countries through the intergovernmental platform of the Global Tiger Forum, along with the collaborators of WWF, It emphasizes on strengthening the tiger governance. It emphasizes on strengthening the tiger governance. Next, while addressing contemporary challenges, tiger governance written, comma, enhancing resources and protection, while addressing contemporary challenges, addressing resources enhancement, you can write down, while seeing the or reduce mitigating the while mitigating human wildlife challenges like human wildlife conflict. You can write like that, addressing resources enhancement while also mitigating human wildlife conflict, right? Next, GTRP 2.0 aligns with post 2020 global biodiversity framework. GTRP aligns with GTRP, write down, aligns with post 2020 global diversity framework. Post 2020 global biodiversity framework. Post 2020 biodiversity global biodiversity framework, aiming to address urgent global crisis, right? Urgent global crisis. Anything with respect to this which is bothering you or anything which you have not understood, just let me know. Then I'll quickly start this and then I have to do the cheetah conservation projects also, which is important. Yesterday we have seen the conservation strategy of domestic conservation strategies we have done, right? Like M stripes. Do you remember from yesterday? We have done that monitoring has been done and M stripes. So M stripes is one of the initiatives that has been taken domestically. Then there's another one which is there, uh, wherein you calculate census has been done. Then you there's another one which was there. I'll tell you. Mhm. Camera trap based capture mark recapture. So the point is just to give you a background for the people who are writing the conservation. जो हमने कल conservation लिखे थे वो domestic थे, जो आज हम international initiatives हैं which has been taken. Yesterday's yesterday we had talked about M stripes, etc. So just give you a background. The stripes of the tigers are as unique as the human thumb print. Okay, the thumb print which is as unique, right? That's why we do the biometrics, etc. Similarly, for the animals, also for particularly tiger, the stripes which are present on their body is as unique as the fingerprints of the thumb. So the point is that we have to identify that how we can capture them, because they will be having a unique identities in terms of that. You'll be able to mark them up, that whether how what has happened to that particular, you can see their journey actually from the time they have been born, the time that they have been doing well, or maybe they are not doing well. So we can see all of this. Constant watch is there. Regulation means what? Monitoring means watch. That there is a particular tiger that we are keeping a close watch on them, right? We are keeping a close eye, close watch on them, and then we can analyze that what is happening to this particular tiger. Because for us, each and every tiger, especially with respect to predators, they're very important. Being at the highest at the apex, highest at the ladder, it is very important that we should have the flagship umbrella species present so that they can retain the ecosystem. I'm not saying that the other animals, other organisms present at the different trophic level are not important, but the predators are really, really important to sustain the ecosystem, right? So there is another which you can add up, or maybe you have added up, so just left it like that. Right, camera trap based capture mark, camera trap based capture mark, camera trap surveys for abundance. This is a camera trap surveys, right? For abundance and density estimations. Camera trap abundance, camera trap surveys. So basically you are putting a camera, you're capturing each and every wherever is possible, right? If the forest allows us, right? So if there is a possibility to put in camera over there, then you can capture the activity of all of them. Camera trap based capture, mark, camera trap surveys for abundance and density estimation. Okay, there is one more thing that you can write in the domestic one. I can explain you right down in your own language later on. So there was a project also with respect to tigers. We are translocating the tigers from one tiger reserve to another tiger reserve. The why it has been done, because certain tiger reserves are performing exceptionally well, while the other tiger reserves are not doing well as compared to the one which has set the benchmark. So what we can do, we can transfer, we can translocate certain tigers from this particular reserve to another. But when we have tried this, we have already tried this method, it was not successful. We took out two of our male and females from the particular tiger reserve. We introduced them in another, and we called it as a translocation project, right? So it was a tiger translocation project, India's first interstate. And please note, it was the first interstate tiger translocation project, which was initiated in 2018 by again NTCA. And there was a male with the name of Mahavir from the Kana Tiger Reserve and female Sundari from Bandhavgarh, MP. And both of them were introduced in another fairly well tiger reserve, which with the name of the Satkosia. The Satkosia Tiger Reserve is in Odisha. So when we introduced this to this area, it was not at all successful. Okay, so you can write all these programs that there was an initiative. This is how the translocation was initiated, and interstate translocation can also be one of the domestic initiatives, right? So this is with respect to all the domestic initiative I'm talking. With respect to international initiatives, I am still talking about them. Okay, what else can be done? Can you write all of this? Online students, can you write all of this in your own language? Translocation projects. Just write down few of the points. आप लिख लीजिए अपना अपनी लैंग्वेज में वही लिख लीजिए, so that later on you can figure it out. Abhi, you can just write down certain points. That's translocation project, interstate translocation project. If you successfully do it with the careful by taking care of all the things, external factors, then definitely it will be successful too. Done? Written already? Shall I move forward? Okay. You can write down one more declaration with respect to the tiger conservation. Write down. It's Vladivostok. Vladivostok Declaration, which is again with respect to the tiger conservation. Okay. Vladivostok. Again, it adopted in GTP RP only 2.2. Just write down Vladivostok Declaration for tiger conservation. Okay. The next and the most important one is your International Big Cat Alliance. Now, this International Big Cat Alliance is not particularly for the tigers only. As you can see, International Big Cat, it is written Big Cat Alliance. So we are targeting all the bigger cats which are present. So how many big cats are there? Actually, there are 7, out of which 5 are present in India and 2 which are not present in India is Puma and Jaguar. Therefore, you would have seen there is no project called Puma, Project Jaguar. There is nothing like that. Most of the time we see and hear about tigers, lions, leopards, and cheetah, right? So we are not having anything with respect to the Puma and Jaguar that are not, these are not present in India. But apart from that, others are present. Okay, so write down. International Big Cat Alliance लिखिए is a global mega coalition launched by India. It's a global mega coalition launched by India on 9th April 2023. It is a global mega coalition launched by India on 9th April 2023, commemorating 50 years of Project Tiger. Commemorating 50 years of Project Tiger. Next, IBCA, short form of it, write down. IBCA focuses on conservation of the world's 7 big cats. They focuses on the conservation of 7 big cats: tiger, lion, leopards, tiger, lion, leopard, snow leopard, puma, jaguar, and cheetah. Write down. This alliance is a multi-country, multi-agency. This alliance is a multi-country, multi-agency platform that brings together 96 different countries. That brings together 96 different countries. Again, its nodal organization is, write down, NTCA. The first point under it, write down, it enhances global collaboration among governments. What is the purpose? To enhance global collaboration among governments. Point number 1 of this initiative. Second point, write down, global collaboration among governments, write down, establish central fund and technical hub. Establishes a central fund and technical hub. Establishes central fund and technical hub. And technical hub for research and conservation efforts. For research and conservation efforts. Next, strengthen habitat protection and anti-poaching activities. Strengthen habitat protection and anti-poaching activities. And anti-poaching activities. Now come to the next point. Okay, that's all which is required here. Okay. I think with respect to, you can write about this. Okay, so I'll quickly give you a background of the conservation with respect to the, just revise all this. I'm giving you 2 minutes and I have to start another topic in under conservation only. With respect to tiger, it's done. Done. Online students, if you have any doubt, let me know. Good. Okay, good, Soumya. I hope that you're practicing the questions that I've given you for the mains, right? So these all examples are going to be extremely helpful, whether it's in domestic, international, and domestic efforts which have been taken for conservation. And for entire thing, it's going to be very important. Okay, another important topic which is important for the current affairs also, because a lot of questions come from the current affairs as well. They do ask you. So, which is your project Cheetah? Basically, the translocation of this we have done. So, translocation of Cheetah done from savanna grasslands, right? So, what is this with respect to Cheetah? Why we have done that? First of all, understand. So, basically, India is not having any population of Asian cheetah, right? So, if I talk about Asian cheetah, we are not having any population with respect to it. In 1952 last, we had exactly three last cheetahs which were left on the Indian soil, and then that was killed by one of the Rajas from Chhattisgarh. From there on, the cheetahs were declared extinct. Again, I'm using the word Asian cheetahs were declared extinct because there are two species, two types of cheetah which are present. One is your African cheetah, and another one is your Asian cheetah, right? So African cheetahs are there, they are vulnerable, but Asian cheetahs are extinct in India, but otherwise they are critically endangered. There are only few left in Iran. There are only few left in Iran. So what is with respect to Asian cheetah? Basically, we wanted it as a predator. These are the predators. They are at the top. They are at the top of the trophic level. And when they are at the top of the trophic level, definitely they are important. As a keystone species, as an umbrella species, as a flagship species, they are always going to be important for the restoration of keystone species and flagship species and umbrella species. They are always going to be important with respect to how many cheetahs were earlier there. Basically, we are trying to introduce the cheetahs in areas where the cheetahs were we used to found them, but now they have been extinct because of a lot of anthropogenic activities, as you know, hunting, poaching, etc., which has been done recklessly by the humans. So this is the point. Now, African cheetahs, which has been introduced in India, is under the conservation process that we have used, which is your intercontinental intercontinental reintroduction of cheetahs. And this is the first translocation, this is the first translocation of a carnivore, of a carnivore from one continent to another. Right. So earlier we were in talks with Iran also for the relocation because we wanted the Asian cheetahs only exactly. As Asian cheetahs would have been easy for the seeing the environment, seeing the same environment, same species are there. They have been adapted to our conditions. So we thought that Asian cheetahs would be more suitable for us. But Iran did not agree to it, and there was no settlement of the deal. So later on, we have to switch to other countries like Namibia, Botswana, and South Africa, wherein we have a talk regarding the translocation of these. Our target was that we have to at least introduce 50 cheetahs from 2023, 2022 to 2025. Now the count is 57. We have already exceeded our target. Now the count is 57. And the area that we have looked for, the national park that we have decided for this purpose, the first site location. So first site that we have chosen for it was the Kuno. Kuno National Park was finally decided, although we have assessed many national parks. For example, Kuno was one, then Madhav was another, right? Then Gandhi Sagar Wildlife Sanctuary was another. So all of these we have decided that we want all these sites wherein we will be introducing the cheetah. But the first site which was introduced, wherein the first translocation happened, was in Kuno. The first, this for few of the cheetahs were introduced here, and now they are doing fairly well. Yes, there are some issues with respect to the conditions because this is also new for them. Why? Because African cheetahs, which has been introduced, they are basically adapted to a different kind of environment. Although we have chosen that area which is having three things. First thing is that they should have a more of a grasslands and scrublands. As we know that Africa is a country wherein more of the grasses etc. are there, right? They have a what kind of environment? They have vegetation is quite moderate, right? So they have a savanna grassland. So we wanted to get savanna grassland is there, right? We wanted to get a grassland wherein we wanted to get an area wherein it matches the savanna grasslands conditions. For example, the climate is also similar. The grasses are also similar. The prey base, the extensive prey base should be almost same, and they should have it over here, right? So the grasslands and the scrublands were there. Second, the human interference was less. The human interference, of course, that has to be less here, and then it should have an extensive prey base. We looked out for that area which should have an extensive prey base. For example, cheetahs are there, gazelles are there. So all of these are present over here. And then finally we decided that Kuno National Park fits in all of these three categories. So Kuno we finalized. Right. Later on in Gandhi Sagar also we have introduced, and then in the recently in the Bannerghatta also we have introduced in Karnataka. So we do have other sites also wherein we have introduced and the program is successful. In mid of this, there were certain areas, there were certain events which happened wherein the cubs were not surviving. There was a problem of the cubs, surviving in these conditions because maybe they were new or there were certain reasons that they are still figuring out what are the reasons of them not surviving here. Yes. So now the point is that why the translocation matters to us. Very obvious is that I've told you keystone and flagship species. Now anything which is of this importance is always going to be significant for the ecosystem. Extremely significant for the ecosystem, right? So this was the first point. That's why we required this. Second is the biodiversity. We wanted to conserve the biodiversity, and this is very important for even the it is a different angle to it, not with the environment. It is also known as animal diplomacy. So a lot of area it was discussed as animal diplomacy, wherein the animals are taken in, and with in exchange of that you are giving maybe the technical support to Namibia or the different countries from where you have got a deal, right? So these are certain factors why we are introducing them. Okay, right. Then now, apart from this, there are some characteristic features which are not important for means, but one should know since we are discussing the topic. Characteristics is that Asian cheetahs are not that built, right? But if we talk about the African cheetahs, the build is bigger. the legs are sturdy as compared to the Asian cheetahs, where the legs are very slender, right? And spots are there, दोनों के ऊपर spots होते हैं, black solid spots is there. Then with the IUCN conservation status, if we see, one is critically endangered, one is vulnerable. You know where they are found. They are found in Africa. Asian are found in only Iran. Then with respect to the area, you know, scrublands, etc. So these are the basic differentiations, right? तो ये आपका सिर्फ बैकग्राउंड था. You don't need to write this अभी. Project Cheetah is one of the conservation strategy, right? Okay. Do you want to write about this, or shall I move forward with the other conservations? Soumya and Nishan and other online students as well. जो reply करे मेरा उनका ही नाम निकलता है. Yeah, I should give you a viewpoint on them. Like for example, I should give the conservation measures for the vultures or etc. And then I make you write tomorrow. I can do like that also. Just listen to me, okay? Is it possible? Do you want to write cheetah, project cheetah, or you want to go for other conservation measures like uh, for the vultures, etc.? Okay, other conservation done. Okay. So now with respect to vultures, what is there? So this is a very prominent thing, and we have already discussed about this also. See, vultures के साथ क्या problem है? They are dealing with the problem of the bio magnification and accumulation at the same time. What is that? Already I have discussed this in an ecosystem. What is biomagnification? When the substance add to a different trophic level, मतलब एक primary producer से शुरू हुआ, a toxic substance which has been sprayed on it, and then it keeps on rising when it goes finally to the last person, maybe the vultures, right? In this case. So what was happening, I explain you with the example. There is a chemical which is being used these days to call it as DDT. Now this DDT is basically used as a pesticide used by the farmers in order to prevent the crops, right? Prevent the crops. Now the point is, when it is being used, it is a very harmful toxic substances for the plants as well. It has been already restricted by the Stockholm Convention. Stockholm Conventions are the convention which stop your persistent organic pollutants. That means persistent organic pollutants का क्या मतलब है आपका? जो भी harmful chemicals हैं basically. यू कैन राइट डाउन हार्मफुल केमिकल्स. अगर आपको ये समझ नहीं, परसिस्टेंट मतलब जो बहुत ही मुश्किल से क्या हो सकता है, बायोडिग्रेड हो सकते हैं. तो परसिस्टेंट मीन्स दैट ऑर्गेनिक मीन्स used, it's made up of the living, and the pollutant means what? So all these persistent organic pollutants are very harmful pollutants हैं वो, ठीक है, और ये बहुत ही ज्यादा harmful है for the ecosystem. So what was happening, this Stockholm Convention में DDT was restricted. So but and it is also banned, actually banned in India from using, right? But since it is a practice which has been done from a very long time by the farmers, so they were still using it, and there were no regulation, no monitoring being done. So when they were doing it there, so this DDT which was sprayed on the crops was further eaten by the rats, and the rats were further eaten by the vultures, etc. When they were eaten, this was eaten by vultures, it got into the magnification of the pollutants. Magnify इतना ज़्यादा हो गया that vultures को problem होने लगी, and then again what happened? Thinning of the eggshell happens of vulture. उनके eggshells thin होने लगे, right? They could not survive in the harsh conditions. So all of this was happening with them, breathing problems. So all of this was happening with them, and further we identified that this problem is prominent in lot of vultures in the India. And there's a vulture with the name of white-rumped vulture, which is even the critically endangered vulture. There's slender bill, there's slender vulture, there's Indian vulture. So all of this was under the radar. Next is what we have another example of diclofenac. Diclofenac. So this diclofenac is a drug given to the cattle, right? This diclofenac, just let me check the spelling of diclofenac. I think I have written right only. Diclofenac, correct, right? So diclofenac is what? Diclofenac is a drug which is used in order to, it's a cattle drug basically, where even humans use it, but it was stopped given to, it was stopped by the government, uh, and it should not be given to the cattle, right? Why? Because what was happening when the cattle were using this drug and they were dying, so there was a decomposition happening. So you call, when the animal die and the decomposition happens, you call this condition as caracasis. You call the animal in that condition as caracasis, right? So when the vultures and the eagles, they were eating all of this, they were taking in the drug, that diclofenac basically, and that was a bio accumulating in their body. Again, we found the same thing, that diclofenac, which was trying to, uh, you can say, save the life of the cattle drug. On the other hand, it was impacting it was degrading the health of the vultures, the predators, right? So this created a lot of issue, and then finally we started a habitat restoration program, and we started a lot of programs which was happening around the country, right? And there's a habitat center of the vultures, is I think restoration program done in Uttarakhand as well. So all of this is there. So you can write one by one. Write down key reasons for the decline of vultures, Vicky, and then I'll tell you the conservation strategy. Write down key decline of the vultures. Write down veterinary use of diclofenac. Veterinary use of diclofenac, which is a drug. What this diclofenac was doing, it was doing the kidney failure in the vultures, right? Right, and vultures die of kidney failure after consuming caracases, CARCASSES. Vultures die of kidney failure after consuming caracases of animals treated with the drug. Next, it led to loss of habitat, comma, food scarcity. It led to loss of habitat, comma, food scarcity. Next, electrocution from power lines. Like electrocution means the wires that you put right around the area, etc. So they do not know that whether they are harmful or not. They just fly like that, and then the moment they get the shock from the they get the electric shock, that becomes very problematic for them, right? And electrocution, you call this as electrocution. Electrocution from power lines also contribute. Also contribute. Write down the conservation measures. What what were the conservation measures for the vultures? Write down. First is ban on diclofenac. Ban on diclofenac. Write down. Instead of diclofenac, meloxicam. Meloxicam. M-E, write down the spelling. M-E, meloxy, Meloxicam. Meloxicam promoted as a vulture safe alternative. It was promoted as a vulture safe alternative. Next, captive breeding programs. Captive का मतलब होता है उनको breeding programs are being done in the uh, close watch, right? You're closely watching it, and that breeding program is happening. Captive breeding program initiated by Bombay Natural History Society, Bombay Natural History Society, and Ministry of Environment and Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Next, write down vulture restaurants. Vulture restaurant. What is the idea of this vulture restaurant? Write down places where non-toxic, poison-free meat. Places where not non-toxic, poison-free meat and carcasses are served. And carcasses are served to vultures. Carcasses are served to vultures. Next, the first such restaurant was opened in South Africa. The first restaurant was opened in South Africa in 1966. In 1966. Next point. In India, the first restaurant was opened in 2015 at Fansad. Phansad at Fansad Wildlife Sanctuary in District of Maharashtra. In District of Maharashtra. Then write down next Vulture Action Plan 2020-25. Write down next Vulture Action Plan 2020-25. Launched by again MOEFCC. What are the key objectives? Same key objectives you have to repeat. देखिए, strengthen conservation breeding program. Strengthen conservation breeding program, comma, monitoring wild vultures population, comma, regulate veterinary drugs and awareness campaigns and awareness campaigns. Next, write down about legal protection. Legal protection. Okay. All vultures listed under Schedule 1. Legally also we have protected it, right? So all vultures are listed under Schedule 1, or Schedule 1 is related to highest level of protection. All vultures are listed under Schedule 1 of WPA 1972 provides highest degree of legal protection. Write down next, vulture safe zones. Vulture safe zones are geographically identified. They are geographically identified where targeted actions are taken to ensure where targeted actions are taken to ensure survival of wild vulture populations. Okay. There is a very famous conservation breeding center which is present, write down the name, the Jatayu and Sparrow Conservation Breeding Center, which is present in Pinjore. The Jatayu and Sparrow. The Jatayu and Sparrow Conservation Breeding Center. Right? With respect to this, I think we are left with the elephant corridors, elephant reserves, and I think maximum of it this we have done. Some of the ex situ conservation also I'll discuss tomorrow. सीड बैंक्स, जीन बैंक्स एक्सेट्रा, जूस, ये आपका सारा एक्सेस टू कंजर्वेशन में आ जाएगा, राइट? And we have done a lot of conservation strategies now, right? Okay, so write down a question. Have I given any question to you yesterday? कल दिया था कोई question, right? Just try to do that question only. If you have any doubt, ask me with respect to this or any question that I have given it to you. Want to take any PYQ? Nikki, take one PYQ. Write down. Okay. A very important one, but in education you have not done yet. Okay, write down. This is a PYQ on of 2018. Write down. Explain the natural and anthropogenic causes. Explain the natural and anthropogenic causes and mitigation measures and mitigation measures of frequent flooding in Mumbai. In Mumbai. This is the question. Take down. Right. Thank you so much, class.